What's up, everybody? This is Jay Floyd, aka Big Bro. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, man. Listen, if y'all are rocking with me, man, before we get started, I'd like for you to do me a favor. If you could click down below, click like and click subscribe on this bad boy, man. You know, that way you can stay in tune, stay in touch with what we got going on. We get a new episode coming out. We got more chapters. You get to know what's going on. And that helps me with my numbers, man. Helps me reach my audience. And I truly appreciate you doing that, man. Love y'all. Man, let's get into this, man. Listen, this right here is chapter 2. Chapter 2 of the driver's seat. Word. So thank you to everybody who participated, listened and watched. Man, I truly appreciate all of y'all, man. I'm feeling real good, man. You know, I know y'all might peep. I hope you've been keeping up with my beard journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be as transparent as possible, man. This has been a struggle for me, man. You know, I was one of those late bloomers when it comes to facial hair. You know what I mean? I didn't have much coming out of high school and into college, you know. So this is new for me, you know, and every time I tried, it was like it didn't work. So then I just happened to check out some good products, man. I checked out Scotch Porter's Beard Balm, and they gave me the serum, man, the beard serum, which I love the serum, man, because it's natural oils. Black-owned company, man, Scotch Porter. Go check them out. So I saw some ads for them, and they have some products where they're like, you know, for black men, man, we get you together, we get it growing naturally and healthy. I've never had, you know, the confidence to rock the beard, but I feel like I can do that. So I saw Scotch Porter was doing their thing, so I reached out, grabbed me some products, man, and I got it. I can't front, man. So far, so good. Y'all let me know. Y'all click in the comments and let me know if y'all like the beard look on me. You know, and see how healthy it's growing in. You can see this is a part that I've always struggled with on the face. It never really came down right, but it's all good though. So we're gonna get into this, man. This is our coverage of chapter 2, Driver's Ed Workshop, from my book, The Driver's Seat, which is still available on Amazon right now. $10 flat, man. I think Amazon has it for $9.99. Go check this book out, man. I think this is a great book for anybody that's trying to get in the driver's seat of their life. Anybody who feels like life is just happening to them and they're not taking the bull by the horns and they got there's more potential in their life and they're just not doing it. Trust me, all of that is probably true as it was for me. And all you really got to do is some simple steps, man. So grab this, build with me. It's not a whole lot of money. I didn't write this book to make a ton of money. I wrote this book to spread my journey to other people that I thought would, you know, could benefit from it. All right, so let's go, man. Enough of all this talking. Let's get into this, man. Chapter 2 is called The Back Seat. Man, come on. Let's feel like we in that back seat, man. What is the back seat? What is the back seat? One of the things that I learned in my journey, man, is that when you deal with things like trauma, post-traumatic stress, anxiety, depression, struggle growing up, you know, when you deal with these things, you don't have great models. When you deal with that kind of stuff, you can end up in a situation where, you know, life is rolling regardless. You know, God is blessing us every day that we wake up. God is blessing us with that life. So that car is there. Boom. That new gift. It's there every day. It's blessing us. New 24 hours. Boom. How many minutes is that? 24 times 60. Y'all, I ain't gonna do the math in my head, but I'll put it right up there. Look at all the minutes we get every day, man. And that's rolling. But if we're not actively grabbing that steering wheel, not being passive, if we're not stepping in, being courageous enough to drive, then it's just being wasted, right? Let's imagine that we in a car and the car is rolling. Boom, boom, boom. But we in the back seat of it. There's no driver. The navigation is on. God is there. God is with us. But if nobody's driving, or if we have other people driving, other people are the drivers of our life, are the motivators of our life, are the leaders and the ones who mean everything in our life. If we're not the ones actively making the decisions and driving, and other people are, or nobody is, that's a dangerous situation. Imagine driving down a highway 80 miles an hour We're gonna make it 60. Cause you know, God ain't gonna have us speeding. Some of us speeding, but you never know. We driving down the highway, man, and you in the back seat and you got no driver. Or you got a driver whose number one concern is not your best welfare. Your best welfare is not their number one concern. Then that's a dangerous situation, man. You could strike other people. You could hit other people that you didn't mean to hit. You didn't mean to hit them. You're in the back seat of your life, right? That's the situation I found myself in, where I was in the back seat of my life and not taking control in my relationships. I was hurting other people. I didn't mean to, but I was in relationships and didn't know and wasn't taking the initiative that I needed to take. And in turn, I was hurting people, right? And had to go about making up for that, doing certain things to change that and make amends for that, right? So those are things that we do when we're stuck in the back seat. So we got to find out, how do we know if we're in the back seat, man? I'm going to give you a quick quiz. We're going to do a quiz, man. If you can rock with me, rock this out. Let me prep you for this, man, because this is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, and I had to change my perspective on this. When somebody asks you a question to try to assess you, to see where you at, really wear that question. Don't answer out of defense. Don't answer out of where you want to be. Really put it on and see what that really looks like. Convict yourself. Ask yourself, is that really true? You are the beneficiary when that's the case. You will benefit from that. So when I ask you these questions, man, seriously challenge yourself. Wear it. Say, is yes true? Or is no true? Don't just say, I think no. No, put it on first, all right? So number one, do I push away new and potentially healthy people who come into my life? Ask yourself that. Do you push away new and potentially healthy people that come into your life? I know I did. Yeah, I know I did. Yeah. Number two, do I turn down invitations to new groups, church services, because of my feeling on how I think those people would be? Oh, church folk, or those woke folk, or those people in therapy. Do I turn down invitations based on some kind of preconceived notion? Do I do that? Wear that, do you? If yes, mark a little 1. Give yourself a little 1. If no, give yourself a 0. All right? 3, do I refuse to do things with my free time that are outside of my comfort zone or the stuff that I'm used to, right? You got your regular 1, 2, and do you refuse to step out of that to do anything else? All right? If that's true, wear that. Really think about that. If that's true, give yourself a 1. Next, do I refuse to be challenged in my opinions and stances? There's a lot of people walk around like, hey, I'm stubborn. Or it might be like, hey, I'm a Capricorn, or I'm a Sagittarius or something. I don't know. I'm stubborn. I'm an Aries. I'm stubborn. But a lot of times these are trauma responses. So I want you to ask yourself, it ain't got nothing to do with astrology sometimes. This is your trauma response. Do you refuse to be challenged on your opinions and stances? Because people who really believe in themselves, they allow themselves to be challenged. Listen. Next, have I dated someone or found a way to sabotage a relationship? Dated somebody and found a way to sabotage that relationship when they seem like a person that might expect a lot out of me. I'm gonna reel that one back because I know that's a tough one. Have I dated somebody? Maybe it was quick, maybe we was just talking. You know how people be like, hey, we weren't really dating, we was talking. Have you been talking to somebody and sabotaged it or walked away from it when you thought they might expect a lot out of you? Have you done that? Give yourself a 1, all right? Next, do I spend a frustrating amount of my time pursuing things that bring me very little success or fulfillment? And I know y'all better answer this one, because I look all up and down my social media feed and I see people talking about job this and job that. This ain't fulfilling and that ain't fulfilling. Do I spend a lot of my time, and I'm talking about not just your job, but also your recreation, your hobbies, the things you end up, your TV shows. Do you just chalk a lot of that and end up with feeling like you ain't got a lot back? You ain't got a lot of fulfillment back. You didn't get a lot back. Give yourself a 1. Have I felt nervous when I was approached with a new opportunity or bailed out so I didn't have to deal with the anxiety? This was kind of similar to the other one where, you get invited to a group, but sometimes this one is, maybe it's a business venture. Maybe somebody be like, yo, I'm about to invest in some real estate. You got two, three stacks. Holla at me. Let's do this. Or, and you be looking like, hey, that's real good, but that ain't for me right now. That ain't my thing yet. Do you do that? Give yourself a 1. And last, do I hate my current job? Do you hate your current job? Do you? Do you hate your current job and don't know what to do next? Give yourself a 1. All right? So now, whether you did it in your mind or whether you did it on paper, I just want you to give yourself a, maybe I had about 5. Look, anybody that got less than 3, you're doing good. That's your scale. If you got less than 3, you good. If you got 4 or 5, all right. But if you got 6 or 7, you firmly in the back seat. Yeah, you in there. You in there. Sitting in that back seat, and I know that feeling. I fight every day against that feeling and the habits that get us in there. So I know how that goes. If you got 8, then that's why we're here. It's all good. We're gonna work through this. We're gonna work through this. Look, we all got scars. We all been hurt. We just don't want to stay there, right? Here's my question today. Life is going to hurt you. I talked about in my last video, even God promised Adam, everywhere you step your foot, there will be thorns. So we know in this world, we will be hurt. So if you already know that, if God has promised us there's going to be pain in this life, then you tell me, it's your choice, what kind of pain you're going to have. Defensive scars or offensive scars? Your choice. So the first step, once you say, all right, I'm in the back seat, I'm trying to get out of this bad boy. It's exactly like being in that car. Imagine you in a car. You're a grown person. You in the back seat. You strapped in. The first thing you got to do, find that seatbelt. Sometimes I know we all been in that situation where you gotta dig around real quick, find it, try to grab that bad boy and unlatch it. Sometimes it's tough. Back seats are not really always made for grown folks, so it's tough. You know what I mean? This is difficult work. You might have to get somebody else might have to step in and say, oh, I know this car. I know this make and model. Let me help you. Let me show you. Let me reach in and show you. It's a life coach. It's a therapist. It's a mentor. That's what it's all about. You can't always do it by yourself, right? The reason it's so hard to find that seatbelt is that by nature, that by your simple nature, you keep a lot of the root causes hid within yourself. And the root cause is what we gotta fix. We gotta go straight to the root, right? And I can tell you from experience, 95% of the people I've dealt with, childhood and daddy are where the roots begin for most of us. I'm gonna get that one a second to sit in. Childhood and daddy. And so when you start digging into things like your childhood and your father, maybe you was missing a father, or maybe he was there and you got some pain. When you start dealing in that kind of stuff, man, you better get your courage up. You better get your courage up. This work ain't for the faint. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't ready to really do some work, then you ain't really ready to change your life. But this is where it starts, man. You got to be willing to look yourself in the eye and say, I'm about to be better than my old self, be better than yesterday. And that means addressing this root. That means you're going to have to get a Bible. You're going to have to get an accountability partner, a coach, therapist, mentor. You're going to have to get that armor on. You got to get that armor on. The majority of the time we'll find in our seatbelt, the thing strapping us in came from that most painful day in our childhood. Maybe it was the day we got abused. Maybe it was that abuse. Maybe it was the day we got diagnosed with some kind of sickness, man. Maybe it was the day we found out somebody we loved was gone. Not in our life no more, man. We got to get to that. We got to find that seatbelt and start finding out, or where is it buckled in at, and how do you work the mechanism to let it go? Let it go. How you work the mechanism. There's steps, there's a hook that's slid in here, and you got to press this, and you got to do the work, man. Work the mechanism. Yeah, y'all with me? Because we're going to do this, man. I know it. I'm not even trying to act like it's simple, because we know it ain't. I've walked the journey and I still walk it. That's why I make these videos. The door to the back door, once you get that seatbelt out, that door represents your defense mechanisms, right? We all got defense mechanisms. The thing, we're gonna hide these dark moments, man. We're gonna hide that back seat, man. This was trauma, this was hurt. It's all of that, man. This involves anxiety. Making me, when you talk about being in the back seat, we're talking about fear. Because the natural way of life is to get out of your back seat, step into the seat that your parents used to occupy, and then start driving your adult life. But we don't do that because so many times in this world, some things go wrong, some trauma, some pain, some hurt, and we end up stuck back there because we're a little bit afraid. We're afraid of something. Anxiety is fear. Fear. Yeah. Depression is fear, rooted in fear. You know? So we got to start finding a way to say, okay, I'm going to embrace the power in me. I'm going to open this door. So we got to find a way to get that seatbelt. What was it? What was it? You don't have to, you don't got to type it in the comments. But if you're at that point of awareness with your situation, go ahead and type it in the comments. Go ahead and free yourself up like that. Hey, this was my seatbelt, or this is my seatbelt. Go ahead and type it if you want. But if you're not at that point, just say it to yourself. I think this is my seatbelt. Or maybe you're not sure. I think I want to find out what my seatbelt is. And I can't do this by myself. So let me reach out. Let me go find me a life coach. Let me go talk to a therapist. Let me go call up my mentor and tell them I want to make a journey to find out what my seatbelt is. It's uncomfortable. It don't even fit me no more. Not only am I in the back seat, but it don't fit me no more. I've grown. I'm big now. This thing is from when I was little. It's from when I was 8. Somebody hurt me when I was 8. It's the size of when I was 8 and it's still pulling on me. I want to learn how to find the mechanism, work the mechanism, unlatch it, and let it go. I have to. My life depends on it. My life depends on it. I have children who need to be in this back seat by themselves. I can't be back here with them. I've been in the back seat sharing sharing this with my children. I've been sharing my life. They've been watching me emotionally and psychologically, spiritually, back here with them. I can't raise them properly because I can't show them the right order. I need to get in the real driver's seat. I'm talking to them like I'm the driver, but my hands are not on the wheel. We're crashing everywhere. And when I say this, I'm talking about my life. When I grew up, that's what my mother did. And that's what I began to do. And I got a sense that it's happening to a lot of y'all too. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. And this is the reason why I do this whole workshop, man. We are who we've been waiting for. Stop looking at these politicians. Stop looking at these celebrities. Stop looking at these CEOs and thinking that they're the ones that are gonna save the world. They're not gonna save you. We are gonna save each other. You know, I guess I listen to a lot of hip hop, man. And you know, I'm gonna tell you straight from Big Bro, a lot of it ain't healthy right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us that do hip hop, we grew up in pain. And what happened is the only thing we learned how to sell is pain. And now these record companies deal in pain. They just pick people that know how to pass on their pain. And now it's generations and decades of people handing you their specific pain. And you listen to it and you hold it and you resonate with it, you relate to it and you just carry that. But how many people do you listen to that'll hand you their healing? How many people will hand you show you how to work the mechanism? It's a lot of music, movies, TV that'll show you how to, let me show you my seatbelt, my struggle, my pain. How many people will show you the healing, how to get out? That's what we need. I'm not trying to bring these other people down. What I am trying to do is say we need more balance. So my challenge to you, my homework to you, subscribe to this channel, any other channel that's passing on some healing. Balance it out. You ain't gonna find it on TV. You ain't gonna find it in the movies. It's not too much. It's just little bits. Balance it out. Ask yourself, is your life balanced? Am I receiving healing from other people that have been through things I'm going through? Because I know for damn sure I'm getting pain everywhere I look, whether it's the news, whether it's the music, whether it's the TV. I'm getting pain that other people have gone through. And I relate to that and I'm holding it. And that's cool, but how much healing do we get? When you go to the hospital and you sitting there, and then you get a knock on the door, you don't want it to be another sick person. You want it to be a nurse or a doctor. If you talk to another sick person, sometimes you're gonna want it to be somebody who can tell you how to get better and what they done been through and tell you it's gonna be all right and show you exactly how it's gonna be all right. Not describe to you the same pain that you're already feeling. And look, that's it for chapter 2, man. That's my homework. Balance out your life, man. Get them scales in the balance. Get them scales in the balance, man. Please, I'm begging y'all because I love you. Because I love you. And my life purpose is to help you heal while I help myself heal too. That's my purpose here in life. That's what I am on God's tool belt, man. Yeah, stay tuned for chapter 3. The next chapter, which is drive. Get in that driver's seat and drive. Join me next time, man. I'm here getting worked up, man. Getting worked up. You know what I'm saying?